Lucas with this format.
So here we go, best of 5 afoot. Lucas and Guriko both starting off with Golden Knights and looking like it could be drill from both of them, although Lucas may be going to Royal Giant with the bar barrel in there. And now with the E-Wiz coming down, still could be, but definitely leaning towards drill. Nice fire spirit there for Guriko, perfectly placed. And I love that both these players also have their cams on. This is a golden ticket best of 5. So you want to see how they are faring in terms of having that camera in their face. In Helsinki, they will be live. So another layer there added into the pressure that is mounting in these ever important situations.
We see the drill not placed directly on top of the tower, giant skeleton placed early, and I was gonna say it placed perfectly because of it, but instead the magic archer walks a half step and then somehow, some way gets tripped up and starts focusing on the tower.
Yeah, Magic Archer brings that tower all the way down to 2302, which puts Lucas in a 700 HP deficit early on. And that giant skelly bomb going to put in some work with the Golden Knight dash late. There's the dash, there's the bomb. And now Golden Knight will be taking for that Royal Ghost. King Tower activation is missed by Guriko, and I'm wondering if that's because of the body block there from the Golden Knight.
That's exactly right. It looks like I mean, a huge mistake, but one that is certainly understandable. It really doesn't make sense how it didn't get pushed, and just an unfortunate situation. An attempted NATO plus the Magic Archer not going to work out, and now there is going to be NATO potential for Guriko, and there it is.
Yeah.
Gets the tower down to 1789 plus a Magic Archer lock on the tower.
That is a big-time lineup there for Guriko in terms of the connection from the Golden Knight. And like you were just talking about, that connection there with the Magic Archer as well. 1655 to 1605, separated by 50 HP. Lucas, who was down early, was able to even things out with that great Royal Giant plus Golden Knight connection. Guriko does good work with the Tornado to bring this back to a basically even game here. And that is another great Golden Knight dash there from Guriko.
Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. The Magic Archer, probably a centimeter of a step away from getting onto the tower with the Archer shot. Almost getting there, but just not quite. 1597 to 1580. Every 8 seconds, we see it, we see Lucas's lead just shrink just a little bit extra right here. That is going to be a lock, and that Inferno Tower is going to be placed late.
Yeah, that's a really nice lock. 4 shots in for Lucas. And now the high E is to stop this Inferno Tower from taking out that giant skelly before it becomes a factor on Guriko's side of the board. And now Lucas setting up for a NATO, and I think he's going to get it. There's the NATO. There's the connection. And that was a beautiful send by Lucas. Takes the game.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Lucas right there. The high Inferno Tower. The first 5 seconds it was on the board, I was thinking, wow, what a great decision. Inferno Tower is going to be able to snipe. It's going to be able to take out the Giants.
Guriko's turn to bounce back.
Oh, the nerves are getting to be more and more as this set goes along. I can't imagine the feeling of Lucas, especially after a missed Archer Queen does allow the Mighty Miner to get to the potential tower, but because of the ability that gets popped, the Archer Queen stays within the range of the Mighty Miner. A huge mistake ends up being just fine. A crazy situation to start this game.
Yeah, I mean, that could not have gone better for Lucas with how badly it started. And you can see sweat is piling up on Guriko's forehead as he's feeling the pressure. And Lucas does go exactly to what I thought he was going to, except for he swaps out the giant skeleton for the Valkyrie. But he does go to Hog EQ here in game number 2. We'll see if Guriko was expecting that with this deck that he's got. He's obviously got a good sizzle there when it's talking about the Inferno Tower or that Mighty Miner drill stacking up. Dark Goblin's going to be a great way to get some damage in something that's played in the opposite lane or something like this up high in Inferno Tower.
It's always so fun to watch these pros play these Hog decks because Lucas cycled Earthquake and then cycled the Hog. And obviously, when you want to play these Hog EQ cycle decks, you think that the only play you can make is the Hog EQ, or the EQ. But really, he gets the Earthquake damage, which is great. And then he Hogs because he knows his opponent has to respond with the Inferno Tower. So that Hog is solely there to give him a +1 trade. It's not there for any kind of offense.
Yeah, and that is also a really great point for a lot of players watching at home who maybe don't think about that. Sometimes just baiting out negative elixir trades is your goal that cycle around. It's not always about getting tower damage. And now we see Lucas showing the mirror as his final card. Going to have to worry about those double hog pushes or those back-to-back hog pushes. And Guriko definitely thinking about that now. This cycle from both players is very difficult to keep up with.
And that is just such a crazy situation for Guriko. His opponent has Log and Mirror. So now your Goblin Barrel and Mirror is going to have a lot less success.
Yeah, and you can see Lucas also opting to just go Valkyrie plus Skellies time and time again. He's happy to take that trade. Even if it's negative, it still creates a little bit of presence on the right side of the board here. Now good Earthquake value on the right side, but we see Lucas just opt to reset with this Inferno Tower. Rocket going to come down on top of the tower, and so AQ offset to the right-hand side. And I don't know if that's the way to go for Guriko, but we're about to find out. Valkyrie in front of the AQ, Hog opposite lane, most likely. There it is. Inferno Tower comes down, so now the ability to get the second Hog Rider to come down from Lucas is there, and there it is.
And there we go. Archer Queen on the right side, going to get the tower all the way down to 1618, 1806 on the left side, but now the right side is just a bit lower. Guriko's Mighty Miner is going to cross the bridge, but just Skellies alone is going to be enough. We see the Valk cycled at the bridge. Earthquake should come down. No, we do see the second Hog Rider, and even with the Log's help, the Hog is going to get to the tower, and that's going to be another swing, I think.
That is massive, all the way down to 304. A great example of min-maxing there from Lucas. He just goes Skellies to defend that barrel, and then gets the level 13 Hog Rider in for some massive swings on the tower, down to 304. And with only 50 seconds remaining, you can see Guriko sweating, and also he tilted his head back like he knows this set is all over. And right after a back-to-back-to-back set for Guriko, Lucas has now gone back-to-back in games 1 and 2. Guriko on the verge of being eliminated, and Lucas about to need.
Even with the matchup advantage being as severe as it was, that was a phenomenal way to attack that matchup.
And I love the fact that because Lucas used the Giant Skeleton in game number 1, he had to use the Valkyrie in game number 2, which ended up putting him in an even better spot matchup-wise, because you can't play that Giant Skeleton on the front of the tower the same way that you can a Valkyrie against those drills. So now Lucas looking like he could be going to Graveyard, maybe goes to the Skies, and Guriko going back to Drill.
Yeah, Lucas has ran Lava Fireball before, and this is still looking like it could be either of them so far. But because of the... Actually, I would say it is Lava because of how much he's struggling against the Drill. I think any other deck would have a lot more success against it. And there we go. We do see the Loon.
Yep, Loon in behind that Mighty Miner, whose ability was popped to take care of the goblins from that Drill. And the Balloon will not get a drop with the help from that Magic Archer. Did it hit the tower, though?
Yeah, it did.
Wow, 2605. And now 2 Magic Archer shots, going to come into that left-hand lane. Lucas down by 1100 as he sets up his very first Lava Hound push.
Inferno Dragon is going to be able to take out the Golden Knight. Golden Knight will get the tower down to 391, and with the Fire Spirit plus the Skeletons, that Inferno Dragon is not going to be trouble. On the flip side, not a ton of elixir to take out this lava. Inferno Tower should follow in shortly. Otherwise, he's going to give up that tower, and I don't know if that's the correct play to make.
Yeah, that's I think a little bit too much HP to give away, but I guess maybe Guriko just looks at the situation and goes, I have nothing else that I can drop down other than the Inferno, but then the Inferno Tower will get eaten alive by the pups and the Skelly Dragon behind. So Lucas finds himself up 1 tower, but basically even here as that log comes down. 23 HP remains, and now Lucas technically in the deficit because that 23 HP is a non-factor.
Yeah, and I love that he's using the lava on the opposite end. I was thinking that it was going to be way too difficult for him to go on the left, just because his opponent has the opportunity to go Inferno Tower directly on top. he can make a lot of really interesting plays. And now he can set up with double lavas, he can set up with double loons. There's all sorts of plays that he can make. And right here, we are going to see the Mighty Miner potential going in, popping the ability, and getting directly onto the tower. No, just going to elect to try and get one big push.
So he goes Lava Hound in the pocket. Now that Inferno Tower eaten alive by the balloon plus the Skelly Drag. Lava will get to tower, but not before that Inferno put in work. I think that Inferno got a little bit more than Lucas expected, and now not much damage done. 1237 to 2317.
Log will come down. Golden Knight will not be able to make it to the tower, though. Skeleton Dragons plus both towers are going to take out the goblins fairly quickly, but not too fast. And the problem is now, you know, he can't go in with the lava over the middle because you know your opponent is just going to Inferno Tower. He basically has to win right here, and I don't think Guriko is going to allow that to happen.
Yep, and there's the Golden Knight to catch the Mighty Miner. Guriko just waiting for Lucas to use that ability. Goblin Drill comes in, and it looks like Guriko could be taking this to a minimum of game number 4, but still 73 seconds remain. 409, 2151. Lucas needs a miracle.
I would like to see him go in with a Loon Mighty Miner push. We do see the Loon, but it is followed by the Skeleton Dragons. It's just going to be too easy for him to clean that up with the Inferno Tower, plus the Tower's help, plus the Magic Archer's help. He gave himself a chance, but yeah, it's just too difficult. Zap going to come out. I mean, he's doing everything that he can. It's just, we know what will eventually happen.
And Drill goes to the front. Tombstone is there to catch. Lucas trying to make a case of this, but the log will come in, and the goblins will also get on top of tower. And now Guriko goes to game number 4. Lava Hound not working out for Lucas here. The early tower trade felt like no Drill, no Royal Ghost, so maybe potential for something like Royal Hogs. We'll see. So it looks like Lucas is opting to go to Mortar, and it will be against Bait.
So Mortar without Log, going to be the Snowball instead. Cannon Cart will be able to take out the Dark Goblin and provide a little bit of value offensively. A defensive Rocket going to come out, and it's going to come out in time. Not going to allow the Mortar to get one shot.
Yeah, it looks like Guriko was probably hovering that Rocket. Hits the Cannon Cart, hits the Mortar, and they find themselves even in Elixir. But Guriko down in HP early on, which is usually not the case when you're running that deck. Usually when you're running that Bait deck, you go up in damage early. And Delivery plus Mighty Miner here to defend.
How does Lucas want to approach this? Does he have the Cannon Cart in cycle? If so, should be an easy defense. Instead, going to force out the Mighty Miner. And that's going to be a little bit of trouble just because he does not have that log. So just every time he uses the Goblin Barrel with troops in front supporting it, he's just going to struggle a lot to take him out.
Yeah, Lucas is always going to have to double spend on that, whether it's guards plus Snowball, Snowball plus Fire Spirit, whatever it is going to be. Lucas is always going to have to spend a little bit more than he'd like, but that's a very fortunate Mortar connection there. Now Tesla comes down. Mortar will get one shot on the tower. 2254 to 2332. Bait deck coming back into this conversation.
Not going to use the Snowball on offense, technically giving Rocket value if he chooses to do so. Just because the Tesla is alive, you do have that opportunity. Guards plus... No, he's going to go in with a Snowball plus Fire Spirit, going to be able to take that out. That Dark Goblin is getting so much value.
So much value. High Tesla here to protect the Dark Goblin and distract the Mortar. Then a barrel goes in. Dark Goblin will take care of the Cannon Cart, so it no longer is a threat. Mortar on Lucas's side should get a shot on tower.
Yeah,
and
that should be
the splash.
Yeah, there you go. Gets the splash damage onto the tower. Plus the poison is going to get the tower all the way down to about 1300, 1358. Are we going to see the Snowball again, or are we going to see a different response? Does mess up the timing or messes up the interaction, and that tower is going to get down to 1612.
And Dark Goblin going to get a lot of value again, but Mortar Shot will come out on top of the Dark Goblin, and the Dark Goblins have not been protected the way that Guriko wants to so far in this game, in an ever-important game. Only a minute and 40 seconds remain between our next golden ticket holder or a game number 5.
Guriko in a very, and that's going to be a prediction guards. It's
Yeah.
not going to work out just right, just because the guards were a little bit too early, but a great spot right there. And actually, I want to, okay, there we go. We do see the defensive snowball,
Yeah.
absolutely necessary right there. The way that heats up and takes out towers is just way too scary to allow. Oh, yeah, I mean, oh, yeah. And Guriko is just struggling so much to take out these miners. It feels like every miner locks onto the tower and never locks onto the Mighty Miner.
And that time we did see a nice protection there, and then Guriko, recognizing the Mighty Miner just a little bit too low, has to mirror the Ice Spirit. Probably not the play he wanted to go for. And now, once again, Dark Goblin going to get taken off the board by the poison and the mortar shot coming in. Guriko has not been protecting those Dark Goblins, and that is the name of the game. Mirrored Barrel comes in, guards up high, Goblin down low, gets taken out by the Fire Spirit. Lucas playing this immaculately.
Yeah, this kind of pressure is insane. 2 sets of guards up, I believe, and now gets another set of guards, and that cannon cart staying alive in that specific situation is going to help so much. 1252 to 388, 20 seconds left. It doesn't matter that the delivery is down. He's going to be able to win this game if he defends one more time.
And there you go, double barrel in again, but defense already set up. Lucas, as you can see the celebration, he knows what's up. He's going to Helsinki, Finland. He's battling for that $1 million prize at the Clash Royale League World Finals. We have our 6th golden ticket holder, and now you can see the celebration coming out.